I'm Ashifa Mujiza, and in this video, I'm going to review a novel titled The Architecture of Love, written by Indonesian author Ikan Atasa. The original Indonesian version was published in 2016, followed by its English translation version by Ren Chudori in 2021. This novel was also adapted into a very popular film in 2024. And as for this review, I read the English translated version. The genre of this novel falls under romance, but the storyline strongly leans toward bittersweet romance. For the setting, the story takes us to modern-day New York City, most likely around the mid-2010s, and honestly, New York isn't just a background here, but it really becomes part of the story. Like the streets, the buildings, the cafes, the museums, all of that shapes Raya and River's journey. Plus, the winter season gives the whole story more emotional tone. The descriptions of the settings are super clear, so everything feels really easy to imagine while reading. Next, moving on to the main characters. So first, we have Raya. She is a novelist with a warm and expressive personality. She jokes around a lot, but sometimes you can tell it's her way of hiding how lonely she really feels. Her main purpose in coming to New York is simple. She wants to write again. She is stuck in heavy writer's block and she hopes that changing her environment will help. But emotionally, she is tired and hopeless. She is unsure about what she wants, including her growing feelings for River, or Bapak Sungai. And then there is Bapak Sungai, or River. He is an architect and he is basically the opposite of Raya, calm, quiet, very observant. He barely talks, which makes him feel mysterious right away. His goal in New York is to heal and deal with the grief he's been carrying for years. He sketches, he wanders around the city, and that's how he tries to understand himself again. But because of his unresolved trauma, he tends to pull back whenever things start to getting close, especially with Raya. That's what makes their dynamic feel so fragile but interesting. So let's talk about the plot. The story begins with Raya arriving in New York after feeling completely drained from her divorce and losing her inspiration as a writer. She's been stuck in a long writer's block and hopes that changing her environment will help her find herself again. During a New Year's gathering with her best friend Erin, she meets River for the first time. He appears quiet and a little mysterious, and the book slowly reveals that he is also carrying emotional wounds from his past. After they get to know each other, Raya and River start spending more time together. Their connection grows naturally as they walk around New York, visit different places, and share small but meaningful conversations. What makes their dynamic interesting is that they both develop feelings, but they hesitate to express them. Raya often feels like their moments together mean more to her than to River, because River always looks quiet and distant, as if nothing's affected him. And when he suddenly disappears or pulls away without explanation, it makes him feel even more unstable and unpredictable. This emotional imbalance eventually creates distance between them. There's a period where they become strangers for a few months, drifting apart because of their own fears and unresolved issues. But when they meet again, River finally gains the courage to be honest. He opens up about his true feelings after all the confusion and hesitation he put Raya through. Through the story, New York becomes the place where they slowly heal and learn to understand themselves. The city's atmosphere and the moments they share make them feel seen and understood, even when the journey is messy and complicated. And by the end, all of their ups and downs leads to a warm, hopeful, happy ending that make their emotional journey feel worth it. Two things I like from this novel. First, I love how emotional the book feels. The descriptions of New York are beautiful, and the sketches in the book add a special charm. Look at this. They make it easier to imagine the places Raya and River visit, which really enhance the reading experience. Second, I really like how natural everything feels, like the conversations, the flow, the whole setting, and so on. The writing is simple but poetic, and even in the English version you still get some Indonesian expressions. It feels warm, familiar, and honestly very relatable, like something that could happen in real life. Two things I dislike from this novel. First, one thing I didn't enjoy is River's unstable personality. Even though I understand why he behaves that way, sometimes it feels like the story tries to explore trauma but ends up making him look like a sad, tantrum, and confused man who doesn't know what he wants. I don't know, it's just awful to imagine. Okay, another thing I dislike is the pacing in the middle of the book. Some parts feel slow and predictable, boring, and there are moments without significant development. It made me fall into a short reading slump because I felt the plot was repeating itself before moving forward again. Now, let's talk a little about the language. The language difficulty is easy. Since this is an English translation from Indonesian novel, the vocabulary and sentence structures are simple and easy to understand. Some Indonesian words also appear, which make the reading experience fun and familiar. And finally, my recommendation. I'd say this book is great for anyone, especially adults, of course, who enjoys emotional stories, slow burn relationships, and character-driven narratives. If you like books that focus more on healing and personal growth rather than heavy drama, this one will fit you perfectly. It's also a nice pick if you want something cozy but still meaningful, with a strong sense of place and atmosphere. So, my final rating for this book is 4 out of 5 stars. I love the emotional atmosphere, the setting, the characters, and the writing style. But, like I was mentioned before, the pacing and writer's character flows made it a little less strong for me, but overall, it is still a beautiful romance story. Alright everyone, so that's a little overview of the novel. Overall, I enjoy it because the journey feels warm and easy to follow, and in the end of the story wraps up with a happy ending that feels satisfying. Alright, that's all from me. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.